Hello and welcome, my name is Dave Carson from Sublimables for You. In this video you are going to find out about the incredible magical properties of water and how you can create your very own highly energized water. I'm sure you're going to be wowed with the information in this video. Water is essential for all living species and for the life of the planet. If you were to ask most people what they know about water, they typically respond with things like, we need it to survive, it's good for your skin, it hydrates your body, we bathe in it, we shower in it. All vegetation and life forms on our planet would soon die within a very short space of time without water. We as humans are actually composed of around 70 to 80% water, and this fact will become more important later on in the video. 97% of our water will be found in the oceans of the world, and believe it or not, only 3% of the water on the planet is fresh water. In this video I'm going to share some new, intriguing, amazing facts about water. Back in the 80s, a group of scientists made their way to a very remote area of Venezuela where no humans had ever set foot. Their mission was to take samples of this water to study it. When the samples were taken back to the lab, they tested the water using a special device that showed just how much energy was emitted from the water. What they discovered astounded the scientists. The water from the remote area of Venezuela had 40,000 times more potent energy than normal drinking water, which says a lot about the water we get access to. They also discovered, after further research, that the local tribesmen near that area had a much lower mortality rate, even though the tribes lived in poverty. Could the water they had access to be a factor in their low mortality rates? In another example of how water can respond in the most mysterious ways, scientists were doing some experiments on mice. They gave the mice water regularly during the experiments. One of the containers of water used to feed the mice accidentally had a sealed vial of poison dropped in the water. This was not discovered until a few days later. As the poison was sealed, they just took it on out and later gave that same water to the mice. All the mice that drank that water shortly died. The scientists were perplexed. They went as far as checking that the water was free from contaminants and discovered the water was completely clean. Why would the mice die, you ask yourself? The only conclusion the scientists could come up with was that the water must have taken on the properties of the poison. Water has a memory. Really? Yes, water has the ability to hold all information of everything it comes into contact with. Vida Austin is a water researcher from New Zealand, and author of the book The Secret Intelligence of Water. Her remarkable experiments show just how water responds to human consciousness and how water can take on the memory of outside sources. Here are just a few of the experiments she's conducted. Vida will put a pitcher on top of a petri dish of water for a short time, then freezes the water. As you can see in these pictures, the ice structure actually takes on the information of the photos. This is clear proof that water is so much more than what we think it actually is. You have to ask yourself, how is this possible? You can find out more about her work on Instagram and Facebook. I will put a link in the description box below so you can actually enjoy her work. Once again, just another incredible example of how water appears to absorb the information presented to it. The next amazing experiment was conducted by a famous Japanese scientist called Dr. Masaru Emoto. He discovered that water was directly affected by thoughts, emotions and music. He studied frozen water crystals under a microscope. He would take samples of water and play different types of music to it, then freeze the water to see what the molecular structure was like. He discovered the samples that had Beethoven music played to it created beautiful molecular structures. He repeated the experiment using heavy metal music. The molecular structures were quite different. Instead of creating beautiful patterns, the ice formed chaotic, ugly forms. He repeated the experiment using words like love, grace, peace and joy, and then stuck the words onto the sides of the petri dish that held the water. And when he studied the frozen samples under the microscope, he was able to see the most beautiful molecular structures. And when he used words like hate, ugly and disgusting, the molecular structures were once again chaotic and very different. Now that we know for sure that water is affected by positive and negative influences, it would make sense to stay as positive as possible, knowing that any negative thinking will be affecting the water in our bodies. The water that comes out of the taps via the municipal water companies has a much different structure. The formations lose any sort of definitive memory. In a sense, the water is almost dead. There is good news though. By having positive intentions towards your tap drinking water, the water will begin to develop a healthier structure. When we drink water, it becomes part of us. Remember, we are 70 to 80% water. We need to be kinder to ourselves and watch how negative we are. I personally want the water I come into contact with to be energetically powerful. And finally, this is how you can create your very own powerful energized water by simply giving it gratitude. Tell your water how beautiful it is and give it love. I'm positive it will make a real difference. Here is my bottle that I use to drink my water. As you can see, it has a crystal inside which creates powerful energy within the water. And on the top here, it has the words love, joy, power and magic. I even have what I call a healing bath. When I'm in the water, I tell the water I appreciate it and I love it. After researching water and the magical, mysterious properties, I'm all in on the positive water idea. Are you? Will you view water differently after watching this video? I urge you to research the different experiments for yourselves. I hope you've really enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed creating it. And don't forget to subscribe, like and share. It's fantastic to know that people are supporting me and helping my videos get out into the world. Thank you so much and I will catch you soon. Thank you.